Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach Murray Show after the bye week. I'm Adam Bellin with Indians football head coach Russ Murray, and our stats man and all-around guru down there, Sammy Hendricks, at the other end of the table. How y'all doing this evening?
Good, fine.
All right. Last week was a bye week, Coach, but before that we had the Pierce game. The biggest thing out of the Pierce game that I wanted to ask you about was that second quarter touchdown, the second quarter turnover that I thought we had. I think everybody on our side of the field thought we had, and you were definitely – it seemed like you were pretty upset about the call as well.
Well, I think it was evident I got a penalty on it. It wasn't quite a 15-yarder because we didn't have 15 yards to get, but, I kind of wanted more, but Coach Wittenberg, stopped me there. He fumbled the ball. It was in the air, and we had a guy, I think Jamie Shellman might have got it. It might have been Dylan Nixon, but caught it in the air and went down with it, and their whole team left, and as well as ours. And the referee, his explanation was his forward momentum stopped, and I said yes, it was stopped because he didn't have the ball.
Right.
But we've had problems with that crew in the past, and I'm not going to get into that. Refereeing is not an easy job, but it was what it was. At the time, At the time, it was 7-0, and I was, we could have helped. We could have helped by stopping them and maybe had something going, But it wasn't the difference in the ball game. But at the time, it was a difference on everything that we had going. So we went from, stopping them at the goal line to them scoring. I think on the very next play, but I could be wrong. It wasn't long, but that's what it was. They fumbled it and we got it. The referees didn't see it that way, and sometimes it happens, especially on the road. It is what it is. I told the guys at halftime, we just had to put that behind us. We just go on.
Well, I know right after that call, it didn't go our way, obviously, but it seemed like the Road Warriors that made the trip, that kind of spurred them on. They really got behind the Indians from that point on through the first half.
Well, maybe so. I'm not going. I'll fight for our boys. I'm not going to show my fanny out there or whatever, for no reason at all. Right. These boys sweat hard and they work hard, all throughout the year, and I'm not going to let something like that happen without saying something. But at some point you got to stop. I try to teach them life lessons too. We talk about things. We have kids get in trouble. Every day before we go out to practice, we have a meeting room. I call it Meet the Tribe, whatever. Win the day, our talk, win the day talk, and we cover stuff like that, And I covered that Monday. I shouldn't have acted that way, but it's at some point there's a time when you have to, and there was a time I had to cut it off, too. And that's I hope they learn that. I hope they learn to take up for themselves and their teammates and their families when they get older, but at some point you got to stop, right. And I hope they learn that too. And that's one of the that's one of the things I try to teach them too. We're not all about football. It's football, but we're raised them trying to be good guys when they get older. And that's part of it.
I hear you, Coach. Hey, let's head over there to Sammy. Me and Sammy both brought books for you today, Coach. Go ahead, Sammy.
All right, Coach. We'll stay with the bye week. Speaking of that, of course, to everybody, disappointing 0-5 record to start the season. From my perspective, on the outside looking in, and probably you and your coaching staff as well, and the players, probably a really good time to have a bye week. We have a lot of injuries to a lot of players on the team. Give them guys time to heal up and get ready for the second half. How's the bye week help you, yourself, coaching staff, and the players as well?
Well, it gives we always take the day off. That Monday we took off. I had a cardiology appointment, so I really didn't take off. I had to go to that, but it worked out good. That's the reason why I had that appointment that day. We took the day off and didn't do any football stuff, and they just kind of were kids, and that helps just to refresh your brain and body and things like that. And we were able to practice 2 more days the last week, and we got after it, but we just worked on basic things. Having a bye week lets you kind of regroup. We got some guys back from injuries like you were talking about, and we're beat up. The schools we play, other than the University of Christian, they're a lot bigger than us, and it is what it is. Last year we were sitting I don't know, maybe 4-2 at this point, or no, 4-1, I guess. But you know, you know, definitely having a bye week definitely helped. You know, it was get everybody refocused, and we had some great practices about focusing on ourselves. We came together, had a little fun. We that Thursday we turned the lights on out here, and we had a good little practice.
Right. You know, of course, you know, the players are obviously frustrated as well as being, you know, coming out on the losing end of these games. But what are some of the frustrations that you as coaches have when you know the players are out there giving 110% and just not able to get over that hump to get on the other side of the win-loss column?
Well, what we try to do is, you know, just try to see if they're giving their best, you know, at reviewing the film and stuff. And what frustrates us is when we see they're not. You know, unfortunately in this world, these little things right here, you know, they can make themselves, you know, not our kids in particular, but kids in general everywhere. You know, they see stuff on the internet and see stuff throughout these social media things on their phone and stuff, and they kind of create themselves up to real heights, and they start believing some of this. There's nothing. I mean, it's different than when we were kids, but we still had the same. You know, we thought more highly of ourselves than what we were. But you know, having the, as far as coaching and being frustrated is when they're not giving everything they have. And you just got to stop and remind them. I mean, they're children. Hey, let's really, you're not giving it. You have to remind them, hey, this is what you got to do. And I tell them all the time that I don't want them to go out and score 2 touchdowns returning on a punt, or I don't want them to go out and have 13 tackles. I want what they can do, the best they can do. All we can ask, and we've done this for years in this field house and in this program. I've been 29 years with Coach McWhorter. All we want is all you got. And that's what we try to strive to them. And what I get frustrated is if they leave something in the tank. Right. I will drag them off the field. I will drag them off the practice field. I want everything they have. And that's what frustrates us as coaches, to knowing that we have something in our tank left. You know, we've lost some close ball. I felt like of the 5 games that we've lost, 2 of them we probably could have came away with a win if we would just a little bit more for 48 minutes. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I told the guys after Pierce, you know, I said, hey guys, you're 0-5, and that's all I'm gonna say. What are we gonna do? You gonna stay on this road, or you gonna let's take it and get on another highway? And you know, so far, you know, we've seen some progress about some things. We've, you know, some guys that really didn't want to be with us, they've decided to leave, and if we'd see some empty lockers in here. Right. And that's a good thing too sometimes. But you know, I think we're going to be okay. You know, whether we win the next 5 or 1, 2, 3, whatever. You know, I think we're going to be, as a team, we grew last week.
You know, one of the frustrating things to watch out there is almost being kind of tell of 2 different halves in each of the 5 ball games. It's like we played really good the first half, close, you know, right there in the ball game. Second half, things just seem to go totally against us, and it's just a bad second half, or vice versa. You know, we have a bad first half, and then come to the second example against Yulee, bad first half, and come back and had a great second half. It's just, you know, right there needed, you know, you get those 2 halves together and not have a bad one in first and second. I mean, no, that's part of the game, but it just seems that's the way these 5 games have been.
Yeah, you go back and look at it. Yeah, there's, you know, just play a complete ball game, and it does take 4 quarters, especially close, especially these region games we're going to get into starting next week. You've got to play 4 quarters, all 48 minutes, right. And I hope our kids are learning that. They go back and look. We're only playing 24 minutes. So it takes 48 minutes, right. You know. I mean, so what? You won the 4th quarter. Well, what about the other 3? You won the 1st quarter. And I think they're getting that idea down, you know. And we had a lot of returning players back. But we still, I say our core, a lot of the guys we have out there are first-year guys. Now, so they got 5 games under the belt. Right. So you know, we'll see. We'll see what this time off has done, and let's see what kind of maturity we got in. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. Hopefully it's happened over the last several weeks. And I feel like you'll see some changes. I hope we see some changes. You know, I hope that the biggest thing is they give everything they have. You know, one of the things that we have right on the wall, you know, win today, that's like my biggest thing to go to. Right. just try everything you can to win the day, because either you do that or you quit. And so we'll see. Hopefully we're going to try to win today for sure.
All right, Coach, headed into the bye week, I guess it's a two-part question. How did the bye week go as far as practice and everything? And any changes or adjustments headed into Dublin?
Well, yeah, we're going to change some stuff. I mean, I just talked to him about the bye week, and, you know, it was refreshing. You know, we got a little renewal about ourselves. And, yeah, you know, anytime we're not going to ride a broken horse or whatever you might say, you know, you got to change them a little bit. And, yeah, we put some changes in. We've put some changes, and, you know, not to get into it here, but you're going to be like, wow, yeah, you're going to think we changed a lot. But we didn't change a lot. But you're going to see some sets and stuff. You're like, whoa, what are they doing here? You know, but I've saw some of your questions. It's going to answer some of them too. You know, some of you may have that some of my scratched out, so no, I don't want to talk about that. But, yeah, we've got a few wrinkles, both well, especially on offense. I feel like our defense have played pretty good. They've been on the field 80% of the time. But there's still room for improvement there, and Coach Swing's doing a great job over there. But Coach Hagens has been scratching. You go look on that board in there, and you'll see all kind of stuff he's wrote on the board and different papers and things like that. We changed a lot of stuff. And well, we changed stuff that's going to look like a lot because it's, you know, you'll see. That's all I can say about that.
I knew you weren't going to give me the detail of the changes. I was just wondering how the bye week.
Well, you're going to see. Well, the big thing is we got some personnel back, and we got a key junior back that's going to help us because he's real versatile about doing things, and that's going because he can play line, he can play skill guy too. He's kind of in between guy, and it's going to help us out tremendously with him being back. And we got Xavier Jackson back, so he can play some on the line and things like that. So, you know, with some personnel back and with a few changes we have, I hope the product will be a lot better.
All right. Let's see. I'll flip over here to page 2, Coach. Well, let's see. Last week's show, the last show we did 2 weeks ago, rather, you mentioned simplifying the offense. Any thoughts on that up to this point?
Well, I don't think simplifying it, that was a good word. You know, when I'm trying to explain something, my tongue gets kind of tied. When I meant by simplifying is making it more understandable for the kids, because our kids were having a real tough time grasping what Coach Hagens had going on. Because, he wants them to be able to adjust on the fly and things like that, and it just wasn't happening. But here these last 2 weeks, he's changed some verbiage that he uses, and we started using the wristbands. I don't know if you noticed that. We didn't use them at the beginning of the year. And we're really getting, you know, I guess like they do in the video games, cheat codes down and stuff so they know what we're going to do. You know, but when I hear the play, I got to look down because it's different to me, but it's not. It's hard for me to understand, but it's not about me. It's those guys wearing their spears on their helmets, and I as far as simplifying it, no, I think we've made it more understandable for the kids, and it's showing out there at practice for sure.
I got you. All right, thank you, Coach. Hey, Sammy, what you got?
Keep going.
Yep. So keep going, huh? All right, on our defensive side of the ball, Coach, what are we expecting out of Dublin Friday night?
Well, Coach Holmes is a master of the wing tee. I mean, he runs the Southeastern Wing Tee Clinic in Dublin every spring, and people from all over the country come to it. So he's a guru. He's wrote books, and he does a clinic up in Chicago. He goes up, he brings him and his other people up there, and he knows that wing tee, you know, front and back. In fact, Coach Helton from Jeff Davis is one of his students of the game or whatever like that. You're going to see an offense a lot like theirs because that's where he learned it from Coach Holmes. Yeah. And we'll just see. We'll try to stop it. You know, I hate that doggone wing tee because it's so simple, but if you coach them up, over, it's repetitive, it's a good offense, you know. But you got to have a bunch of tough boys, which he's got. He's got some tough kids. And, you know, hopefully we can stand toe-to-toe with them for 4 quarters and be on top in the end, hopefully.
I heard that. Hey, I'm glad this one survived the cut because I was looking forward to this one here, Coach. On the defensive side of the ball, on our defensive side of the ball, we from what appearance-wise to us looks like from the booth is that we have more success when we're attacking than rather when we're kind of sitting back and waiting. I was wondering if that's what y'all see on the field, or are we not seeing the whole picture?
I mean, that's why you see our defense. We're all standing up and on the line of scrimmage. That's probably what you see. I mean, you attack a lot of times. Is the best. The best defense is having a good offense. Attack them, and instead of sitting back. If you're sitting back and waiting, you have to react. Sometimes that's bad. Make the offense react to what you do. That's kind of Coach Swing's philosophy with that attacking you're talking about. But we won't do it all the time because Coach Holmes and those Irish find holes in what we're going, because they sit there and study it. Hopefully it'll go slow to start off with, but they're studying. I don't know if they script or what they do, but that's how it's always been when we've played them. And he's been there ever since we started playing them. Years ago, back in 06 when we played for the state championship, he was the coach there. And, so they're going to study what we do. And if we show them too much, or show them a chink in our armor, they'll exploit it.
I know Friday night we need the Road Warriors to make that trip.
Yeah.
About a 3-hour ride this time, a little bit further back.
Ain't about a 3-hour ride. It's definitely. I'm timed it many times going up to Athens to see my son up there, and when you get to Dublin, your car, when you crossing that interstate, it's 3 hours. And that's when I've stopped and went straight through. And I'll usually stop at that racetrack or whatever that's at the interstate and kind of fuel, because it's about halfway to Athens, and fuel up, fuel my body up, mind up, and go on up there. But once you get that interstate, you're about there. So don't give up. So it's a little over 3 hours. We're taking the school bus, we're breaking it down, halfway, gonna stop in Hazelhurst and eat, and stretch your legs a little bit, and then get on up there.
It's one of those kind of road trips, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those road trips, and hopefully we'll figure out these new regions and stuff. We won't have to schedule somebody as far away. Hopefully we'll get some closer games, but it's just the way the schedule panned out, and I hope everybody that can make it, but I know it's tough. And luckily y'all have something that they can either, I don't know if can you stream it? Are we going to stream it on here?
Sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to stream
something that they can see, but it sure is better when they're there. I know when we played, that was the last time we were there. We played them twice since 2006, and it's been here both times. We haven't been to Shamrock Bowl since 2006. It's turf now. Mm-hmm. It's not regular grass now. It's artificial turf. But I remember when the game started, we had all kind of Dublin fans that was sitting behind us, and it was sure rough. And eventually our folks made it, and it was a whole lot different ball game. Yeah. The kids thrive on the support, and I really do appreciate everybody that supports and loves their kids, because it's tough. And stay behind them. You're gonna see some good things. Hopefully, they deserve it, and our kids deserve it. But yeah, if they're the ones putting gas and money, and to go to ball games, and hopefully we'll get something for them soon.
Hey, we are planning on streaming. Well, we are streaming. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there. We are streaming it, but we are trying to fundraise that, because Dublin's charging us, like ACO did a couple of seasons ago, or last year, a couple of seasons ago. So we're having to raise that. So we're in the process of doing that, and y'all can hit the CSN Sports Cash App if you'd like to help us raise that. But either way, we're doing the game. We've got it covered. I'm just trying to cover it without my pocket, for lack of a better term. But on that note, so you guys are, I guess, what time are y'all going to leave out of here Friday? That'd be pretty early then, wouldn't it? About 1 o'clock?
Hopefully we can leave out here by 1.
By 1.
By 1, hopefully. And we're going to arrive there a little bit later than I normally like to arrive, about 5:45, 6 o'clock. But, 7:30 kickoff. If you get there at 6 o'clock, that's fine. And, we played on turf twice this year, so it won't be that big of a shock to them than, that's the first time. Right. When we played over in Brunswick, I wanted to get there a little bit early to let them run around a little bit, because it's different. It certainly is different. And so we with the last 2 ball games we played. So it's like we're third ball game playing on turf again.
For our fans, I know Dusty always puts up on the Charlton County Athletic page what they have to do as far as GoFan or cash. So we'll be sharing that when he shares it. We'll put that on our Facebook page as well for our fans up there that are making the trip, whether it's cash at the gate or GoFan. I haven't seen anything yet on that, have you?
I haven't either.
Yeah,
you
GoFan
did?
or cash. Yep.
GoFan or cash.
Cash. Yep.
Oh, very good. All right, well, that's good. That's good. Sammy, you have anything else, man?
Yeah, Coach, I'm just going to kind of get away from the team and the players real quick. Last year I was able to get Coach Bailey and Coach Marchman. I wasn't able to get you during the coaches show, so I'm going to get you now before the season gets away and I don't. People are superstitious. I'm superstitious in a lot of ways when it comes to sports and games when I played and things like that other. What is Coach Murray's day on game day that he does to get ready for that day?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I wished I had a time just for myself or something, but when I became head coach, I realized that day really ain't about me. Mm-hmm. It's about everybody else. Yeah. I got to make sure. You would be surprised about how many people come to me wanting something. And I have to do it. And as long as I have that going on, I feel like it's a game day. If I don't have somebody, hey, how do I get tickets? I'm telling you, I don't know how you go about buying a ticket to the game. Mm-hmm. Okay, all I know is you can buy them from the school or you can go fan. That's it. I don't know how you go do the tickets, but I have people every Friday ask me, you know, being from here, and people maybe come home, that I went to school with. They ask me that, or, hey, can you do this for me? I had somebody one time call me at 6:45. We're getting ready to play Macintosh that week, and I get up at 6:30, but I get up on game day about 6:15 because I got to be at school earlier. Mm-hmm. But at 6:45, they called me and wanted a helmet because we had a bunch of these helmets that we were selling. He had to have a helmet that day because the helmet he got that I'd given him, he said his son took. And I was like, dude, I got to get ready for a game. And he called me twice during that day. I couldn't believe I was scratching my head. But I don't have per se a thing. What I do like to just sit whenever I release it. When we have home games, when I release the kids, I sit in my office for about maybe 5 minutes. I try to do it more, just sit there. And that's about it. I don't, and I allow my guys to coach. I'm not calling offense plays. I give suggestions, but they're the ones that's got to be zoned in and stuff. Right. And I just try to get a clear mind so I can help them because they're real passionate. I kind of had the cool head on the sideline. And but as far as I don't have a special shirt or hair, I don't have any hair anyway, or shave or anything like that. Hat. I used to be like that when I first started coaching about different stuff when I coached junior high and I coached baseball, here. Mm-hmm. But Coach Mike McNeil, if y'all remember Coach McNeil? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He broke me of all superstitions because I had a shirt, I had a hat. He would purposely take that and take it off the bus and I wouldn't have it with me. And it worked out a lot of times, so I was like, well, it doesn't matter. I can see where people get the superstition, but Coach McNeil just kind of broke me from that. He would take my hat, and of course he'd give me another hat, or he'd take the shirt, replace it with the same shirt, but it was different, like it'd be a brand new one or something. I'm like, so he kind of broke me from that a long, long time ago, which is good because, you could be an idiot if you're just, about yourself if you you are superstitious. Yeah. And there's things I try to keep the same routine, but it's impossible. And, it's impossible, and I wouldn't have it any other way, but it's impossible because I always have to – I'll run it uptown to the grocery store to get something we forgot or mixing Powerade. I was 6:30. I was 6:30 like last football game mixing Powerade so the guys could have it in the during the week, during the day. So it is what it is.
Real quick before we leave, I wish I could hear y'all. I swear I hate being deaf. Before we leave, when I pulled up here, the Braves were winning big, 22-0 at halftime. Did anybody get a final on that?
Well, I don't know. They were doing, they were kind of having things their way. I think the very first play of the game, Noah Jackson, he called a tall kid to have. I think he's 8th grader, number 1 for him. He got a long pass he scored on. They're doing. Coach Winterberg and the other guys down there are doing a fine job with those guys. They're learning how to be Indians, and You know, I'm excited about what the product they have coming up. They got some big old linemen.
They do.
There's a big old lineman, and you know, this year we have a bunch of ninth graders that are good specialty kids. You know, like Trent Hamilton. He's going to be a fantastic ball player for he's done here, and Peter Kayshawn Cobb. He's just going to be he hits like the old throwback guys, and when he puts some weight on him, he's going to be unreal. He's Tony Cobb's. Tony Cobb's brother, I think. Yeah, Tony Cobb's brother, and y'all remember Tony, right? He was with me when the first year I was here, and you know, there's several more. I'm missing some, and when they get together in a couple years, it's gonna be okay around here, I think.
Good.
Hey, Coach, Sammy, anything else y'all want to hit? Coach, anything you want to hit on before we head out? You got anything you'd like to get off the chest?
Hey, just stay with us. I know it's been tough, fans, but stay with us. I promise you we're doing everything we can to win today. I mean, these kids are, you know, like I said earlier, the things that frustrated me is about looking back and some of the things they were holding back. I don't think they're going to do that. We've had some heart-to-hearts in here, and players have talked, and I think we're going to see some good things happening here the rest of this year. I'm not guaranteeing you wins, but I'm guaranteeing you're going to have guys giving everything they have, and that's – As a coach, that's all I can ask, and I hope you as fans can be satisfied with that. Just everything they have. They leave it all on the field. That's all we can ask for.
That's right.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry about the rapid fire tonight, but I wanted to be a little bit more organized.
It's been a couple weeks, boys. I understand. And I tell you what, I love the enthusiasm that we have still, even we're 0-5. We're excited about Indian football. I'm excited, you know, about it too still. You know, I hadn't given up on, you know, I ain't thought about quitting all this stuff. You know, I still want to be here, you know, and the kids do too. As long as these kids want to go, I want to go.
All right.
Well, good luck Friday night.
No, thank you.
We'll see y'all Friday night. Actually, we'll see you tomorrow at Maidensfield. They have a big game versus Lanier tomorrow. That's probably for number 1 seed tomorrow.
Awesome. Yeah,
that's
it is.
5:30.
Our girls are still undefeated, right?
In region.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
That'll be for region. That's a huge game tomorrow for the Maidens. And Friday, we'll see y'all live up in Dublin. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for watching the Coach Murray Show.